see.
Maybe next week if Senor Enrique wants to come on, he can come on.
It's a sneaky.
It's a sneaky. You good over there? Good?
I'm good.
You good?
I'm just screwing around with this thing.
Just messing around, getting comfy?
Getting comfy.
Jesus Christ.
Jeez, dude, what did you have?
Beer and
Do you
pizza.
even wipe? No. What? You remember that?
No.
It's
From
that
what?
Harold and Kumar one. He's
Yeah.
He's like, I plead the fifth. And he's like, you know what I think of the Fifth Amendment? Go get me the book. And he grabs it. And this is what I think of the Fifth Amendment.
Why is your
Wipes
ass
it.
so dirty?
Like, God.
Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to.
And the Warriors are only
Yeah, I
down.
only have one thing to cover for NFL. It was the Jets firing their GM.
What about the Patrick Peterson thing?
I'll touch up on that too.
All right.
And the Warriors are only down 3 points.
That's what I was saying. It's quick. Not that much against them.
That team, you could be up 30 and they still have a chance to come back and win it, to be honest.
You could also be down, 30 against them and turn it around.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Some would say that was the greatest comeback in NBA history.
Some, but not all.
Not all.
Hey, we were talking about comebacks, so we were talking about...
You're never gonna live that one down. It's
we're talking biggest upset.
never gonna happen.
We were talking
Never
biggest
gonna
upset.
happen.
We were talking biggest upset, not biggest comeback. Obviously, that's the biggest comeback.
Don't want to hear it.
Because there's never been a comeback bigger than NBA history
In the playoffs.
in the playoffs.
I don't want to hear it. You flip-flopper.
Flip-flopper?
Oh my god. You guys are gonna the reason the Jets fired their GM. It's pretty funny. Like if you look at it statistically.
All right, just hold on. I want to get the candid reaction.
Yeah, totally.
All right.
Candid camera?
Candid camera.
What happened to the monitor?
It's over there.
It's just not the same now. Now we're like our own podcast again. We're not trying to be the all bad podcast.
I put it over there so that I could
You
watch
could
the hockey game,
and now you can't.
and I didn't want to move it back. I was going to put the Padre game on, but we all get way too distracted.
I for sure do.
We all do. We all just zone out at points,
for
and it's
sure.
like, what? Stuff.
Dude, you know what the worst thing is when your girlfriend's talking to you and she's like telling you a bunch of shit and you're like watching a game or watching something and you're like focused on what you're watching in front of you. Like, why don't you listen to me? And you're like, dude, just let me fucking watch this shit and then you can talk to me about what the fuck you want to talk to me about.
They put commercials in it for
Yeah,
a reason
it's like, come on, man.
to break my concentration, and then I can talk to you.
Yeah.
And then when it's
Let
back
me-
on, there we go.
You just don't understand, man.
That was like the meme I saw, and it was like, I hate going to the movies with my wife because she just asked me questions as if I wrote, produced, and directed this film. It's like, I don't know, Karen. I don't know why she's going over there. I have as much information as you do. I was like, dude, I felt that. Those questions all the time.
The questions are the worst.
All right, everybody set up in their stations.
Yep.
We are set.
Let's do it.
Boys, let's get to it.
Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Lights, camera, action.
What's up, everybody? Three Amigos and a Podcast, episode 49.
Hey, one away from 50.
Dude,
The
3
5-0.
weeks out till we hit that year mark. It's going to be good. For everybody that's listening, if you want to come out, I think we're going to have it at the Ballast Point off Linda Vista Road. We'll be in the little back area. We still haven't figured out what our prize is going to be if you come out. We got stickers up the yin yang that you can get a sticker, but
That's right.
gotta do something else special for our listeners and fans. Come up with something.
Hell yeah.
We'll figure something out.
Oh my god.
At the very least, you get to just come out and enjoy some good beer, though.
Exactly.
Guys, I have some devastating news that's just coming to me.
Okay.
There's
That
going to
just
be
sounds awful when you say
just
it like
wait.
that, though.
There's going to be another Batman filmed
What?
in 2021. It'll be released, starring Robert Pattinson.
Shut the fuck up.
You are full
Are
of
you
shit.
serious?
No, it's, I s-
Dude, they should have just let Batman die against Batman vs Superman. Just have Superman kill him and just leave it at that. And then
They should have
Batman's gone.
stopped after Christian Bale stepped down and then just like let Batman's character just end at that point.
Dude, Robert Pattinson?
Robert Pattinson, Mr. Twilight himself.
Dude, isn't he like gone though? Like his identity is gone. He's not even like a big actor anymore.
I don't know. I mean, it could be a good casting because he is kind of dark and ominous, but I'm just over the Batman movies.
I'm over them changing the Batman so frequently.
Yeah, it's like take a,
Take the Marvel series, right?
yeah,
Like
or
how
even
we've
look
been
at James
doing-
Bond.
Okay, yeah, James Bond.
Like
But
how
I'm
they-
saying like the longevity of the characters. Like through the Marvel series, we've seen 3 different people play Batman.
Well, this is a Warner Brothers Batman.
You mean DC, right? Not Marvel.
No, I'm
No.
saying like comparative in this, like
Oh,
from the first Iron Man
I get what
and
you're
Christian
saying.
Bale was the Batman
Mhm.
to where we are now, and now we have Robert Pattinson.
and then not even to mention, like you can go back and look at George Clooney.
Where's this? Where are you getting this feed from? Because sounds just awful. I got to make sure that I'm not just getting set up for failure.
No,
Do they got the blue check.
Yeah, I got to see a blue check on this. Because
Google it, man. Google it.
Sounds awful.
It's
Like,
blown up on the Twitterverse right now. It's on several links, so it doesn't seem like it's fake news.
I could think of probably 100 different actors that would probably be a better fit than Robert Pattinson
Dude,
for Batman.
do you guys ever feel like big companies release things on Twitter to see the reaction, and then they're like, "Okay, it was shitty. We're gonna go a different direction."
Probably.
I feel like they should do that, right?
It's a Matt Reeves film though, so it might be good. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. No, I mean,
It's tough. It's a tough thing, man. And like Batman's a pretty badass superhero. I just feel like after they had Ben Affleck cast as him, I was like,
it's done.
like you.
I
How
will
are you
say
gonna come
this,
back
He's
from this?
kind of Ben Affleck. Just like take his acting aside, but from a look,
Yes.
he kind of has that. He kind of has the cartoon Batman look. So,
Yeah.
I would give him a point. I can understand if he was Batman. You're like, well, I'll let him try it out, see how he does it.
That's why I wasn't against Ben Affleck being.
I wanted to give it a
Batman.
shot. It wasn't
I
his
wanted
fault.
to give it a shot, but because of reasons you say, because it was like he was
Yeah.
kind of that cartoony. That's what you imagine Batman to be.
And
like.
he didn't play a bad Batman. Those DC movies were just not good.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't blame him for
They try
poor
to make,
acting.
They
Or
try to make it too derived from the comic books. I feel like, and I'm like, all right, I want this is one of the things I liked about some of, especially early on in the Marvel, because they kind of start to get a little bit more far fetched the further along you get into it. But early on, everything was very realistic. Like
Yeah.
I could honestly see that being something that would really happen in today's world.
Yeah.
That was one of the things I also liked about Christian Bale as Batman. You know, like the Dark Knight series, it was like he had all this nice, cool tech, and and now
It was like a
seemed-
good balance of real world and comic
fantasy.
book animation. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like you have that good balance.
yeah, definitely. I mean, the dude's done like I said, Matt Reeves. He's been a part of some pretty good movies. Like all the like Planet of the Apes, Cloverfield.
Yeah, I remember Cloverfield.
That was
A lot of people didn't like that movie though, but
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it was visually appealing. So
that was the first movie I saw T.J. Miller in. T.J. Miller was in that movie. He was the guy holding the camera.
yeah.
Like I remember his voice in that. I was like, damn.
His voice is so recognizable.
Yeah,
it
He
is.
was in Ready Player One,
Yeah, he is.
and like his character is like the only thing I like about that whole movie.
Yeah, I like that movie.
That movie was
good.
You are part of the problem.
I like.
I
that
had a
movie.
discussion about this movie earlier. If you read the book and then you watch the movie, you're like, did you guys even know that there was a book about this movie?
I didn't
like,
know
it's
it, but I just
completely
enjoyed
different.
the movie though.
Like the movie is that movie is garbage.
I literally have no idea what you're talking
just
about.
trying to
I don't know,
make
he's
it-
getting really sensitive over this movie.
I have
I'm
no idea what
fucking
you're talking about.
sensitive.
I feel like he wants to prove to everyone.
I
like,
wanna
"Hey,
move
guys-
on."
Hey guys, I read a book. I want to make sure that everyone knows I read this book.
I'm moving
I have
on.
no idea. Like Ready Player One. What is this about?
It's a good.
We're not talking about it. I'm moving
It's a
on.
good movie. Give it a chance.
Anyways, anyone that stuck around for our shitty conversation / rant. Ballast Point, June 6th. You want to do it on a Thursday or Friday?
I think Thursday because I think I got some.
Oh, that's right. That's right. June 6th, the Thursday, we'll be at the Ballast Point in Linda Vista. Come out. If you want to, we'll have a 4th mic. So if you want to come on and do a little bit with us, we'll rotate some people out.
We can have like a little spot where we just let people.
That's what I mean. We'll just invite people in and out. Thanks for coming. Thanks for going. Blah, blah, blah.
Let them have their own 2 cents. They can ask the 3 amigos what their thoughts are on certain topics or whatever.
Whatever they want. Yeah. We can ask them a question.
Yeah.
We'll turn it into something fun. This weekend, last Thursday, I flew to Waco, Texas for our friend Matt's wedding.
Matty Ice.
It was fun. Waco was it was a fun little town. It was a lot better than I was expecting it to be. Really green out there. So basically, it's like, Ryan, remember when we went to Long Beach when we were like younger? Yeah. And if you go left, it's like the ghetto, and if you go right, it's the good side.
Never forget that, yeah.
So we went left as soon as we got there.
Oh.
So we get there, and we're like, hey, we want some water. And basically, there's bridges that go to like the bad side, I guess, or whatever. So we're like, oh, there's a place called the Family Dollar. Let's go there. So we pull up there, and it's extremely ghetto, I would say. Not the nicest. We're in there, I'm looking for stuff. I was feeling it. I like the environment, and I decided to grab myself a 40 because I was like, I'm feeling it, and I'm thirsty. I'm on vacation now. This is all I got. So I grab myself a 40, crack it open, start drinking it, walking around. Then some kid walks in the door, and an employee there is standing right there, and he goes, hey, you're not allowed in here. Get the fuck out. And the kid just leaves. He's like, damn. And like he just left. And I was like, dude, what the hell is going on? Like, I was just like, how? What do you mean he's not allowed in here? What happened?
Because this kid probably got caught shoplifting.
But I'm like, why would he come back? Like,
because he's only one grocery store to go to out there.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. It was just really funny. But everything else was really good. We did that Barnuminium thing. We went to the Magnolia Farms, which is the Chip and Joe fixer-upper. I don't know if you guys watch HGTV at all.
I do not.
They're huge out there. I didn't get it. It was like a giant cult following, like for this store. It was basically just like a Pottery Barn that everyone loved. But yeah, then reception was really good. Funny story real quick. So Sarah and my mom and everybody, they go to the Barnuminium place first to help set up, and all of us that are in the wedding party had to go do the rehearsal and walkthrough. So I get there, and I'm having some drinks. I don't see Sarah yet, and all this stuff. All of a sudden, I see her come out of the kitchen with like a plate of food, and we were doing like rolled tacos and stuff as appetizers. So she comes out. She's the only like not white girl there. So she walks out, and somebody's like, "Ooh, these look good," and starts taking them from her. And I see her, and I'm like, oh, dude, they think that she's, like, the party person. And I see the mom being like, oh, can you go serve over there? And I grabbed Sarah. I was like, she doesn't work here. Sarah, put this down. So, she's like, no, I can go over there. And I was like, no. And I grabbed the tray and just put it down. Like, I was like, no, she's not going to be your little fucking servant. Like,
what the
hell?
No.
Like, I was like, just put it down.
Oh, my gosh.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny, though, because it was just like, I don't think it was because of like her race, or I think it's just literally because she had food and no one knew who she was. That they was like, oh, she must be the party person, you know? But yeah,
poor Sarah. She should ask for a tip.
She's so fucking nice too that she was just like,
she
was like, yeah, fine, no problem. Like walking around the food, I was like, no, put this down. But yeah, reception was good. Day of the wedding, it was pouring down rain. Like,
what do you mean the rehearsal?
Rehearsal dinner went good. The day of the wedding, it was absolutely pouring. It was supposed to be an outside wedding. I had to go inside. It was at Baylor University. So it's raining outside and stuff. Me and a couple groomsmen get a football, and we go head over to Baylor to see what's up. We run down on the field, throw a couple passes down. I felt like I was about to be recruited to become a D1 athlete. I was making some, amazing catches out there, running in routes. But we get kicked off the field pretty soon, and the guy comes storming down. He's like, show me on this paper where it says that you guys are allowed to be on the field. And we're like, fuck, I guess not. Like, sorry, we didn't know. So we just bail out.
You told him that you were allowed, like you were allowed to be on the field? Or
No. He just came storming down. He was like, you guys aren't allowed to be on here. Show me where you're allowed to be on here. We're like, we didn't know. We're not from here. It's like, yeah, you're not allowed to be on here. We're like, okay, whatever.
Like a stupid field.
Yeah. The wedding was really cool. The girls, the bride and the bridal party, they actually got stuck in the mud on their way over because the barnuminium doesn't have a driveway. It's just like a mud dirt driveway. So they had to get towed out and made it over. But overall, it was a lot of fun. It was a really good time out there. I was happy to be home, though. You know, San Diego is the best. So
yes, it is.
Yeah. But Ryan, you went to Disneyland yesterday, right?
Yes. Yeah, we went to Disneyland. We left pretty early in the morning. Got up there around the time the park opened. If you guys haven't been to Disneyland recently, they do this Max Pass thing now. So like, you know, before like you like to the ride, you can get a fast pass and then come back to it later.
Yeah.
Now when you're in the park, if you pay $15, you can get the Max Pass, and it allows you to save all the pictures that are like on the rides. You can put them all on your app. So you don't have to pay for them; they're just on your app.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. And it like not just like the crappy like phone picture of the picture.
Yeah.
And then you can get your fast passes all through there, so you don't actually have to go to the ride. So
that's nice.
And the other part that was always confusing about that is like there was certain times where like on the card it would show you like after this time you can get another fast pass.
Yeah.
But I would just put alarms on my phone, so at one point we had like 3 different fast passes going. So like because you never had to like go to the actual ride.
Yeah, you could just be like, oh, at this time we can get another one.
Yeah, so we had done like all 5 of the rides at both parks that we wanted to like make sure that we got through before noon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. We got into California Adventure, did the Guardians, or got the fast pass for Guardians first. Went and rolled the roller coaster, came back to Guardians. We went to Guardians twice. That's an awesome ride.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
So you said this is for Disneyland and California Adventure?
Yeah, California Adventure, like they serve alcohol. There's a couple more fun rides. I feel like most of the rides at Disneyland now, like even like Space Mountain and stuff, like there's faster ones, but they always just make me kind of dizzy. Like there's no like you're just going in a circle.
I haven't been to California Adventure in so long.
I definitely you would love the Guardians ride.
I haven't
only been there once.
I haven't been since grad night.
Did you ever go on Tower of Terror?
I don't think I've been on Tower of Terror.
So Tower of Terror was and is now Guardians of the Galaxy. So it's a ride where they pull you up and then drop you down. But
that's cool.
It's to the like theme of Guardians of the Galaxy now. So like they have all the music. So like it was Burnin' Love by Elvis one of the times we're in, and it was another Jackson 5 song the next time. But it's like them escaping the Collector's lair.
That's cool.
So
every time you drop, you see a scene.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty cool, and it's like super realistic looking, and it's all the real characters. But yeah, it was a good time, and we stayed up there and went to the tiki bar, like Trader Sam's or something like that. We went there and had a drink afterwards. Realized that we're so used to getting there so early in the morning because we leave earlier. That way we beat traffic. So we were there till like 9 o'clock, and we were like, dude, I'm gassed. Like there's no way I'm making it to 11 o'clock.
On your legs all day. There's no break. How often are you sitting down other than on the rides?
On the rides,
yeah. Luckily, we went to like Ballast Point in downtown Disney. Sat there for a little bit. It was funny because like the couple that was sitting next to us, they weren't from California, and so they were like talking about the beers that they liked and stuff like that. And they do the sour wench. And they had a different flavor of sour wench, and the guy was like, "Oh yeah, you have to try the sour wench. It's really good." Blah blah blah. Like the raspberry one's good. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm not really a huge fan." He's like, "Oh, you've had it." I'm like, yeah, like we live in San Diego, and then I was talking to the brew guy. And he's
every
like,
single one that they've had.
He's like, "Oh, which one do you go to?" I was like, "Mostly the home brew more." He's like, "Oh, the original." I'm like, "Yeah."
I guess.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was the original.
It's the first one that they had.
Oh,
yeah.
I remember it used to be really.
It used to be nothing.
Yeah,
bare bones with some like tools and seed and like grain in there.
Yeah, it used to just.
Well, it used to just be that tiny little. It was just the brew part,
just the one side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you're Mr. Disneyland now, or I guess favorite Disneyland ride.
Indiana Jones.
That's a good one.
Indiana Jones is the go-to.
Mine's Big Thunder Mountain.
Big Thunder
Fuck
Mountain.
that ride.
What?
Dude, the 2 people have gotten decapitated on that ride.
Well, I'm sorry. Don't be fucking 6'7" and stick your head
It's
out.
standing up.
Every
Jesus.
time that part of the ride comes, like I like duck a little bit, like
Yeah, don't try to kill yourself. How about that?
right?
God.
No, it's not.
What-
Not a bad ride.
All right, favorite ride, Mr. Disneyland.
I probably would say Space Mountain. I like Space Mountain. That or Pirates
Those
of the
are-
Caribbean.
I mean, those are
Pirates
my top
is
three.
pretty sick, too.
I love Pirates.
Yeah.
This is what I like about Pirates is there's so many of those little boats that you don't wait in a long line generally.
You guys saw
some,
that snap I
I
showed you
did.
yesterday,
Yeah,
right?
no one,
sometimes
everybody was empty?
Sometimes it's packed, but that's
they keep it moving.
Yeah.
just because there's so many seats. And
Yeah.
there's so many of those boats, and the ride's really long.
And
I
like
feel
if it's hot too, like if you're
Yeah.
there at a hot day, like it's super air conditioned in there,
yeah,
and you
you
just
get
get to
some mist.
sit down and relax.
it's more entertaining. It's not like it's a thrill or anything
Yeah.
like that, but it's like it's entertaining.
Well, it's
and
like it-
you don't wait in a long
Being
line.
a pirate would be awesome.
Yeah, the
Splash
Mountain's awesome too.
Yeah.
Shaylee hates that ride too, so like every time it's like pulling teeth trying to get her on. And it was a little cold yesterday, and I was like, no, we're doing this.
We
Like,
gotta
this-
do it.
This is happening.
I'm a little that one's kind of hit or miss for me.
It's that big
just-
drop.
It depends on if I'm in the mood on that ride,
Me and Dean, when we were in high school, we went on it like 5 times in a row.
Yeah, we just didn't get off.
and you guys are just soaked.
Well, I peed
Yeah.
my pants, so I don't know. No, I'm
I
just
don't
kidding.
know.
I remember I had a cast on though, so like I had to keep like wrapping it up in my jacket.
I always
funny.
wanted to go to that diner or the like restaurant or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
right there.
By Pirates?
Pirates, yeah.
Yeah,
Louisiana
it's hard to
Square
get
or
a
whatever.
reservation for it. From
Yeah,
what
that's
I
what I
understand.
hear. Yeah. Every time I've tried to go, I'm like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll spend money for a nice meal.
Shaylee had made a reservation at this place called the Lamplight Lounge at California Adventure. So like those, like you guys haven't been in a long time, but they redid the pier to theme with what is it? The like Incredibles, Toy Story. What are those movies called?
Pixar?
Yeah. So it's Pixar Land. So
That's cool.
we get to the bar and we're supposed to be there like 3:15. And I like walk up and I was like, "What's different?" She's like, "Oh, like the menu's different." I was like, "Literally is the same thing that we've been to the last time. Like, there's nothing different about this place other than that they put a few more Pixar things everywhere." So I was a little like anticlimactic for like Pixar Land because I was like, it literally looks the same. Yeah, just like the roller coaster now is the Incredicoaster, so there's a few more like incredible things on there. But I was like, no, it still looks the same. It still looks like just the pier.
Yeah. Well, Brandon, that was our week. So how about you?
My week, really just getting ready for the big week ahead, man. I'm going to Cancun next week. Gonna be a lot of fun. Gonna be staying in 3 different hotels, so I'm gonna be all around the area. But it's gonna be a nice, relaxing time.
What's the time difference there?
Great question. I think it's like a 3-hour difference. 3-hour time zone. Like I think they're 3 hours ahead of us, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't really know. I'm pretty sure it's 3 hours though.
So you could call in.
You want me calling in? Yeah. Well, all doing it for the pod.
Yeah, you gotta.
Hashtag doing it for the pod.
Hashtag do it for the pod. That's
By
what we
the
live
way,
by.
guys, Franmil Reyes just went
I
yard.
was just about to say that.
Nice. I thought you were gonna say what I was gonna say.
What's that?
The hashtag do it for the pod. Pat McAfee put something out today. I listened to his podcast, like the Heartland Radio and Pat McAfee Show podcast. He was like, "What's up?" So I tweeted out to him. I was just like, "Expand your business, dude. Pick us up. Do it for the pod."
And
So-
did he get back to you?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I kind of figured.
He probably looked at us and was like, "You guys have 4 followers on Twitter." I don't
Right.
think so.
Yeah.
And 2 of them are you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But that's pretty good. So Franmil Reyes,
Franmil Reyes, number 13 on the year. Lucky number 13.
there we go. I always feel kind of, I like hearing that. I feel kind of bad though off the local San Diego and Trevor Williams, but you got to do what you got to do to win ball games.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And Padres, I guess we can move into some baseball. But yeah, Padres, off that road trip, dropped 4 out of 5. It's kind of a rough go of it for us.
They're staying in games, though.
Staying in game still above 500, which is good.
Having a hard time establishing identity.
Mhm.
It's
Well, I feel like it's starting. We kind of talked about it off air. It's starting to come into it in a sense of from a player standpoint. Players are starting to find the rhythm, but as a whole, I feel like there's still a lot
Team
of
identity. Yeah,
There's still a lot of glaring holes in making it a full thing.
We're relying on Tatis quite a bit
Yeah.
too, and he's out. And that's a big part of this ball club.
I'm really appreciating the fact that they're not rushing him back in. I feel like definitely second base, catcher, center field. Those are our three biggest holes right now.
And they're massive holes right now.
That's the thing is like catcher isn't really a massive hole. It's just a hole in a lineup. It's a hole from the offensive standpoint.
Absolutely, and that's more or less what I'm. Because I mean, you can plug Manuel Margot in center field defensively. He's great. Will Myers is reputable out there. Like they're all fine.
You can have a hole in your lineup, but you can't have that many holes.
The problem is that everybody else around them is playing like they're a playoff team, and those holes that you have more look like the Padres from the last 2 or 3 years. So it's tough for them because, like I said, they're having a hard time. They're toying with the lineup still, and it's mid-May, just fine. They're a younger ball club; they have the ability to do that. There's no pressure to win right this minute. But from a fan standpoint, it's hard to stay active in watching each and every game. Yeah. When they're still trying to figure out what product they want to put out.
The cohesion isn't there with them yet. You see bright spots from individual players, but they're not not contributing to winning ball clubs. So like I know we've seen Machado's bat's been coming to life, but it's been at the result of us still losing a bunch of games. And you would like for him to be driving in runs with other guys getting on in front of him. I'm not saying I'm not trying to hold anything against him or anything like that. Don't take it that way. But like
it seems like a waste.
I'm saying, you're seeing him go yard, and you're like, well, it would have been nice if he went yard and there's guys on base. Like Framil just hit a solo shot, and you're like, well, if somebody was in front of him, we're up 2-0. But instead, we're probably leading in baseball in solo shots this year.
You're absolutely right. The thing too that's a little frustrating is. You have a player like Framil Reyes who's good at working the count and has the ability to get on base, and you want that, but he's also your best power hitter right now. So, why aren't they, toying with the idea of moving Manny Machado batting to or Eric Hosmer batting to? Exactly. People that have been consistently getting on base as of late.
Somebody like Hosmer who, last season had a launch angle, a negative launch angle. So it's like that's a guy that's going to put the ball in play.
He was batting second earlier in the year, remember, and he was struggling. And it was just kind of like, well, now his bat's heating up. Why not try plugging him back in at second, batting 2 in the lineup and see how he reacts?
And that's what I mean by like establishing identity. It just doesn't seem like they're completely confident in what they're putting out there right now. Austin Hedges, man, like the dude has got. It pains me to say because I really do. He's one of my favorite Padres, and you wouldn't gather that from listening to our podcast, but he is like he's one of my favorite Padres. But I was listening at 97.3 The Fan. The coach, the guy on there he made a valid point. Like he's 1,000. He's had over 1,000 at bats. He's been in the league for 4 years. At this point, this is the player he is.
Yeah,
and
his bat's not there, and it's not supposed to be there. But when you have other guys not hitting.
Yeah, I know we talked about it as a if we had a DH it would be different, but I don't even see him being a reputable option as a player if we had a DH because of the fact that we have other people. They brought Austin Allen up the other day because neither of the guys are getting it done. It's tough.
I will say this in defense, and I'm a big advocate for Hedges, but pitchers generally pitch better when he's catching behind the plate, and that's a fact. And you see it consistently. So I think there's something to be valued there. But I agree 100% his bat sucks. His bat is awful. And there's no way to sugarcoat it. He can maybe drive the ball out of the ballpark every once in a while, but his ability not to get on base.
But that's the thing is like, we always talk about the 3 true outcomes. His at bat is a 2 true outcome. Like he either strikes out or he hits a home run. Yeah, there's no in between, and that's difficult to watch.
Yeah. This team can't draw a walk in general too.
No,
and I wonder if with Johnny Washington, we've been talking about this. I think last year we were talking about how we can't get a damn good hitting coach, and nobody can draw a walk on this team. It's been that way for as long as I can remember.
Well, and the only players that are drawing walks are the players that you want to see. I mean, obviously, like drawing a walk is great, but like our best like our hitters with the best eyes are the guys that you want swinging the bat, not the people that you want leaving it on their shoulder. You know, Hosmer, Machado, Tatis, and Reyes, like they work the count on the team better than anybody else. And those aren't the guys that you want. Like if they get a fastball right down the middle, you want them swinging.
Yeah,
I mean,
you want them to hop on the pitch. You want to be aggressive.
Absolutely.
If they could just be middle of the pack on drawing walks, this team's offense could be in elite territory.
Well, it's so frustrating to watch too because I feel like Washington's trying to get them to work the count, but they chase pitches out of the zone and they don't sit on the ball. It's like they get a first pitch strike, automatically a pitcher's count. You know what I mean? And
it's like they're afraid to strike out or something.
Yeah, and then it's like they get two balls, and then they start protecting as if it's a 0-2 count. And you're like, you guys don't need to swing right now.
Yeah.
Like, make him pitch to you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, again, we're above 500 right now as a team. They're playing decent ball. Obviously, it would have been nice to get out of LA with one win, but didn't happen.
It was only a 2-game series, but still, LA's on fire right now too, and not taking anything away from them. They're playing. I think they have the second best record in baseball right now.
Yeah, they're playing outside their mind.
Dude, and they hit the shit out of the ball, man.
They work the count too. They do what the Padres need to be doing.
Dude, shout out to like whoever is in charge of their like scouting department because they had Paddock locked in, man. They weren't letting a single thing go by. I mean, they had him figured out, like everything.
Yeah, they
were swinging early, they were swinging hard, and they knew where to be swinging at.
Dude, and whoever their hitting coach is, I mean, props to him. Every single one of those players has a similar but different batting style, but they all see the ball so well.
Absolutely,
I think that's what differentiates them from like our guys.
Yeah, they know how to see the ball well, and our guys, it's like, it kind of seems like they're guessing.
Yeah,
they're playing MLB The Show, trying to guess the pitch beforehand, and then just
and then flailing at something that's not in the zone.
Yeah, like that second game to LA, Hosmer got the final out, and he swung at 2 pitches, like up at his shoulders. Yeah. It was like, dude, why are you swinging at those? They don't even look tasty. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be nice once they get Tatis back in the lineup. He definitely adds more spark to it.
He definitely will add some spark to the lineup.
I think he adds spark and, like catcher, shortstop, and center fielder. Those are like the 3 captains that you have, like at 3 different levels of the game.
Yeah.
And Machado's doing a great job at filling that shortstop role, but at the same time, that means you have 2 other glaring holes next to you, and where he has good range at third base, I feel like at shortstop, it's not the same.
It's not the same as Tatis for sure. He's not like he doesn't have as quick of a first step. He's not as athletic.
But that's I feel like
you're giving up a little bit having him at shortstop. I mean, his glove is there, but like you said, it's the range.
It's just a comfortability too because they've missed a couple, double play balls that, if Tatis was there or if Machado's playing third, I feel like he's going to play that ball differently.
Between the 2 of them, like that left side of the infield. As a pitcher, if you're getting him to ground one
out to that side,
ground one to that side of the field, they're going to come up with that ball.
Yeah,
so, that's brutal.
I think that in the other part, with the other hole at second base, I mean, we all have been talking about it, but like, where the hell is Urias?
He's tearing the cover off the ball in AAA.
That's the part I don't understand. I could see if he was slumping down.
Well, and I could also see if we had a guy in that position that wasn't or that was playing even decent.
Yeah.
It's like, let him stay down there. Let him get some more at-bats. But every person that we've plugged into that spot this year is hitting under 200. And you're telling me that it's more beneficial to keep giving, the career journeyman Garcia those reps and Kinsler those reps over Urias, who's your future? I guess it would be nice to hear an explanation from Preller as to what the holdup is.
And Brandon said it before. He's already under his contract. You know what I mean? He's already had enough at bats or hours, however the fuck it works.
So they're up here.
So he's on a contract year now. It's like
it's just hard. Like you really don't know what they're waiting for.
Yeah, I don't understand.
But it seems like they're gonna have to make a decision soon, and I don't know what the deal is because I know they put Mejia on the DL to bring up Austin, but it seems like I don't know if Greg Garcia just didn't have options or what. They just don't have the flexibility to send someone down or.
And I feel like this is the perfect time to bring him up while Tatis is away.
Yes. And he also has flexibility to play shortstop, too. Because he can play shortstop, and you could slide Machado over to third. So there's like really,
Yeah,
there's really no rhyme or reason to it.
I think the only issue that we're running into is that the amount of players, like, they have Ty France up right now. They have, obviously, Luis Garcia and Kinsler.
Greg Garcia,
sorry. What the hell is Luis Garcia? Anyways,
it sounds like a name.
Greg Garcia, though, they have him up. So, like, adding another infielder who's not going to be there long term isn't really justified. It's another spot that you could have, like, an outfielder. Or, we have backup catcher in there. So, like, that's the only part that I can kind of understand. But at the same time, it's like they're all playing terrible. So why isn't your top 5 prospect in your entire organization getting some of those reps?
Yeah, and I mean, it makes sense too. Maybe, like Brandon said, Greg Garcia is something weird in his contract where you can't get optioned, or I don't know. Because I feel like if they send Kinsler down, that's just disrespectful.
Yeah,
well, Kinsler, they got another year on his contract too, so they signed him to a 2-year deal.
Yeah,
I was not an advocate for that signing.
Yeah.
Well, Brandon's been right on that one. The other one I feel like too that's kind of thrown a massive hiccup into our whole pitching rotation is the Garrett Richards signing, because there's some decent players out there. Gio Gonzalez, who got picked up by the Brewers, somebody that the Padres could have utilized to eat up innings that would have cost a lot less than Dallas Keuchel. Can't go after some of those players because we're on the hook with Garrett Richards, and he's probably not going to play this year.
He's not playing this year for sure.
So I mean, it's tough because there's options out there. There's been talks about the Indians wanting to reacquire Francisco Mejia, so maybe a possibility of the Padres going after Bauer or Kluber. Even though I think Bauer's hurt.
Yeah, he is. And Bauer's a weirdo, too. Yeah, God.
But, like,
God,
or
he's weird.
Bauer's a weirdo.
Dude, look up some of his stuff, man. The dude is weird.
Or you look at, like, the Toronto Blue Jays, like Marcus Stroman, Aaron Sanchez. Like, there's definitely options out there. And I know that they're not going to pull the trigger on, like, a trade right away. But, again, it's hard to say that, it might be different if they hadn't assigned Garrett Richards.
I would be good with packaging Myers and Mejia for one of those starters if we can get out of Myers' contract.
God, dude.
Oh yeah.
Get out of Myers' contract, you can give him Mejia, and we'll take on one of those guys' contract that's not like the best team friendly contract,
Absolutely, man. And somebody that's gonna do something. Like at this point, Will Myers kind of like that meme where you see him like poking the stick at him, like, do something.
Seriously.
Like, come to life, man. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like we watched him today, first pitch, ball out of the strike zone, swinging with the bases loaded and grounding out to shortstop. Like, what?
It's like he's not valuing at bats, and he just doesn't care. And that's maybe he doesn't. Maybe he does care, but the perception is he doesn't, based on his body language and the certain things that he does in the field.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, if it was a guy that was making $5 or $6 million a year, it'd be a different conversation. But you're on the hook for a lot of money.
He's the third biggest contract on the books for the Padres,
and you're playing like you're still trying to figure out the type of player you are.
You are the worst. You are a worst starting outfielder.
Yeah,
right now.
And that's saying something because Franmil looks like a freaking
stud.
Well, in the field.
Oh.
But you have to have his bat out there for sure.
Yeah, his bat-wise, I was talking.
Yeah.
Even glove-wise, I mean, I don't think of Will Myers as an elite defender to make up for his slumping at the plate. And, I mean, he's got decent speed, so you can probably flex. He can get decent range out there. But we've seen him at center field. He's a poor communicator. And that's one of the most important traits.
That's where you have to be the biggest communicator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's an important trait for a center fielder, so... Yeah, I mean, I feel like something's got to be done there. Certainly would love to see Luis Urias get the call up. And, I definitely wouldn't be surprised if Preller makes a move somewhat early in the year.
Yeah, it's kind of leaning in that direction. You're starting to see the players that they're valuing. Obviously, some of their big pitching prospects. You don't see as much value there with Mejia anymore. I mean, I love the dude. The dude swings hard as hell. But given that Austin Allen has moved his way up into the majors right
He
now,
also
obviously.
Mejia got hurt too.
Yeah.
He's out.
Yeah.
But the fact that they, are confident enough with his ability to bring him up, it just kind of goes to show. And Austin Allen's a guy that I was talking about for quite a while too. Like the
Yeah,
dude
he's got a good bat.
dude can freaking hit.
Mhm.
He's probably going to be more of a consistent hitter than Mejia, anyways. So we definitely have some pieces to give. But I think, like Brandon was saying, the biggest thing isn't going out and getting necessarily an all-star. It's getting rid of a bad contract. Like, I'm not taking that trade with the Indians or the Blue Jays if Myers isn't a part of it.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
we'll take one of your bad contracts for a player that doesn't want to re-sign with you. We'll give you a good prospect, but you got to take one of our bad contracts. Yeah. So.
No, yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Basically, just get out from his contract at the price of giving up a prospect. I would be good with it because it gives you financial flexibility going forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you just never.
And they're going to need that.
Yeah, no, especially since they signed Machado to that massive contract and they signed Hosmer.
Well, you need the flexibility of it. Like,
and
if
then
you're
going to have to re-sign these young guys that are their rookie contracts are going to be up.
Well, and you're going to have to, play the field. We see it every year with good teams that are contending. You get through a season, whether it's you're plugging for injuries or you're plugging for holes for people that are slumping. You need financial flexibility to go after and get players that are going to make an impact. And
that are going to help you make that final push.
Yeah, exactly.
Every
so
team needs it.
It's going to be interesting. We'll see how it ends up playing out. I mean, I'm still excited about the Padres. I can't wait till Tatis gets back in this freaking lineup, though. We'll see how it's going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, in other news for the Yankees, they've had, the injury bug going around, and it looks like Miguel Andujar is going to end his season early, undergo some surgery for a torn labrum.
That's a bummer.
It's a bummer, but the sub-in that Urshela guy, he's been doing real good.
Over 300.
Yeah, he's batting like 330. Which is, really good for a plug player.
Yeah.
So, getting the job done.
The Yankees, I've been very impressed with the whole next man up they've been going through this year.
They're another team where all their hitters have the great approach. They all work the count. They draw walks, and I just really wish the Padres could capture that, and we just, for some reason, can't even get close to it.
I think with the Yankees, too, it's like the amount of players that they've sent to the DL and the fact that they're only a half a game back in their division. And, you're just starting to see some of these players get back in the lineup.
It's a different identity for the Yankees, too, because, they always had that stigma in the 90s of, like, buying bats or buying players. And this one, it's all farm team. It's, like, really showing that their system has strength.
Oh, definitely.
They're doing
and the ability to go out and get a player like
Giancarlo
Stanton. And then also, you saw that they were willing to trade their top prospect, Sheffield, for Paxton this year. Mm-hmm. Paxton's been playing well for him.
They went out and got Aroldis Chapman.
Yeah.
They spend, but not like they used to.
Well, they spend smart.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And that's the big thing. Is before the Yankees, their identity was big name on the market, sell more tickets.
Grab him.
Yeah, let's go get him.
Let's go get him, and then we're going to win championships because he's good.
Oh, Alex Rodriguez. We don't need a shortstop, but he can play third base. Yeah. So, I mean, it's not their identity anymore. They definitely are building within the organization and then piecing together the needs outside of that.
Yeah. Well, I got some fantasy and reality questions for you guys. I know we haven't done this segment in a while.
It has been a while.
I was feeling it today.
Nice.
Sticking with the American League. So last week, Chris Sale had 17 strikeouts and 0 walks against the Rockies. He will win the Cy Young Award this year. Fantasy reality.
I think it's fantasy. It's not like, he started off so slow. That's an incredible game. That's putting it lightly. Mm-hmm. There's just some other better candidates out there. I'm still a huge Blake Snell fan in Tampa Bay. You look at another dude over in, what is it? I think it's the same damn team. Tampa Bay Rays.
Tampa Bay has a great rotation, great bullpen.
It's insane. I'm trying to figure out what his damn name is. Sorry, Brandon, go for it.
Well, I agree with you 100%.
Glasnow, sorry. That was the other one you said earlier.
Tyler Glasnow, the guy that they got for Chris Archer. Yeah, Tyler Glasnow. And, I agree. Yeah, it's fantasy. There's no way. When you get off to that rough of a start, especially as a pitcher, your ERA just stays pretty flatline unless the Red Sox just go on a tear and their bats carry is win-loss to an insane ratio, which is not really what it's all about anymore. People focus more on the ERA, but I just have a really hard time believing that he could turn it around and just be that dominant to finish out this year. We're talking like Jake Arrieta from a few years back, where it was like a historic rate where he let off like one run in like 4 or 5 starts or something like that, you know. So I think it's fantasy.
I agree with you guys. I think it's fantasy. I mean, American League just has a bunch of great pitchers, like you guys mentioned.
Verlander and Bauer
out
too.
there.
Yeah,
Verlander, Bauer, like Snell. I think it was an amazing feat. You know, what I mean?
17
Ks, 0
What was the
walks.
last?
Like,
I
that's
mean, it was
incredible.
probably Max Scherzer a couple years
God,
ago.
as a
but-
hitting coach, like how pissed off would you be after like the 10th one? You're like, just fucking stop, just bunt,
Somebody hit something.
just put the damn ball in play.
Lean into it. Yeah.
But like to have that many players off balance for that many innings is pretty incredible.
All right, next one. This year, Manny Machado is posting a 1.5 WAR. He's hitting 266 right now with an 814 OPS. He is the most indispensable player on the Padres. Fantasy reality. If fantasy, who?
Indispensable. What do you mean by that?
I mean, like
you can't.
he's if he wasn't on the Padres, we'd be a completely different team. Like,
Oh, absolutely.
he is a player that you need out there. He's a player that is your organization.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say that's a reality based off the fact that they paid him, $300 million. I think that the fan, or at least for this podcast, anyways, the fan favorite's going to be Fernando Tatis Jr. because of the way he plays the game. But I think with Manny Machado, it's the leadership, it's the work ethic, it's the ability to draw more fans in, and he's built a rapport with everybody in this league. You see him out there, chatting it up with players from different organizations.
Fraternizing with the enemy.
Yeah. But it's a good thing to see, when a player is liked around Major League.
Yeah.
So I would say that's a reality. He is the most indispensable player on the Padres.
Well, I have a question. If you're talking indispensable, if we're in like a hypothetical dream scenario where we can get out from underneath his contract. Is that what you're talking about? Or because I know he has like a no trade clause, so
Yeah, I'm saying as if they didn't make this move at all. So if Manny Machado wasn't signed at all,
I still think
would the Padres still be the
Tatis
same
is our
team?
most valuable asset on our entire team.
But I also would say,
Like, if you
hypothetically,
took-
Tatis wouldn't be up there if Machado wasn't here.
Like if you took
Probably.
Tatis
You're probably
off the
right
team,
in that, but
yeah, if you kept everything the same, you take Tatis off the team. Are the Padres going to be the same team? Like if you take like Hosmer off the team, could the Padres fill that hole and still be the same team? Like is Machado?
well, both of them there.
I would say those are probably our two best
I was
players.
just gonna say, it's like,
Yeah.
you take any of those three off, the team's going to be worse for sure. But
I think with
Like you take
but which
Renfroe
one
off, are you going to
which
be the
one
same
would
team?
make the biggest impact in pulling them off? I probably would be Machado. But I do think as far as valued assets on this team, Tatis is our best by a long shot because he doesn't have that massive contract tied to him.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. I think Machado, by going after and signing Machado, he basically gave Fernando Tatis the ability to be the best player that he can, knowing that you have the person cheering up the third base line, and then you have you in the middle. So I think with both of those, you're getting the best of both worlds. So, like I said, if Machado wasn't there, then I don't think Tatis would be right now either. I think this was just a nod at both players saying, we're ready. We're putting all of our confidence in both of you.
Time to win now, man.
I agree.
I like to hear that.
Yeah.
It's been a while. We've been talking about the future.
All right, my last one is Kirby Yates leads all of baseball with 16 saves, and he has the second highest K rate in all of baseball. He will make the All-Star game.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
If that dude doesn't make the All-Star team, man, it's rigged.
But he's going to make it regardless. Cause
Do you guys see any other Padre making the All-Star team?
I do.
Who
I
are they
think
gonna
Machado's going to make it. But
two of them?
as a reserve.
Yeah, I think Arenado's probably going to beat him out for the starting spot.
Yeah.
But definitely in there as a reserve.
And, I mean, the way Hosmer's been hitting, you never know.
There's not a whole lot of first basemen in the National League
that are tearing it.
Yeah.
You know,
the biggest
used to be there's so many big boppers there.
The hardest part about it is that we don't get a lot of fan votes.
Yeah.
We don't. And
they're valuing it less, I think, now.
Yeah.
And they're kind of toying with it. I remember they were talking about doing like an election day type thing where it was like there's only one day people can go out and vote, and those are the only days we're going to count the votes and stuff like that. And one of the things I know, like the NBA, when they do it, is it's all, you know, they do, it's, you know, the media has a portion of the vote, the players get a portion of the vote, and then the fans get a portion of the vote. And I kind of like that setup a little bit. Otherwise, you know, the big markets are always going to be represented best, you know.
Yeah. All right. Where do we want to go next? Who wants to go? You want to rock, paper, scissors for it?
I'll go football first.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of news in football.
All right.
A couple big things. Patrick Peterson was suspended 6 games for substance abuse.
Patrick Peterson?
Yeah. Sucks for him because, I mean...
P-E-D? Peed?
Oh, I get it. I thought you were saying pee, like he had to pee in a cup until he got caught. Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay, I get it now.
I didn't say it's quite slow enough for you to catch it, I think.
Great dad joke.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, sucks for him because he was kind of on the fence about wanting to return to the Cardinals this year and then gets in trouble. The other big news this year was the Jets fired their general manager.
Dude, this made no sense.
An awkward time to fire him right after the draft.
Yeah.
So, as a huge fan of the NFL draft, this is very interesting to me. The Jets, you know, they haven't had a lot of success with their draft in the last several years. Under the former GM's, you know, tenure with the Jets, they only had since 2005 to 2019 or 2018, so 4 drafts. They only have 4 starters out of all 4 of those drafts on their current roster.
Wow.
In 2015, 1 of their 7 picks is still on their roster. The rest of them are no longer in the NFL. The next year, they didn't have any starter, or they had 1 starter. The rest of them either cut or bench players. Something like 30% of their second-round draft picks are still on their roster, where the league average is 90%. So it definitely makes sense to let this guy go. I just don't know why you fire him after the draft. Mm-hmm. That part does not make sense to me at all.
Yeah, I don't get that part. I don't understand giving the reins to Adam Gase, who has a losing record.
He doesn't have anything left to do. Honestly, it's them not filling the position right now.
Yeah.
It's, you know, the draft's over, free agency is kind of over. You have an opportunity to go plug and fill some positions that maybe you think you need as a coach. It's not he will not be their GM going forward, you know, after next year. But right now it's like there's really nothing left to do. The roster it's just about what it's going to be.
I also don't like how he came out and said that he's like, I like Lev Bell as a player. I just don't think he was worth that money. It's like, you know, this guy, his whole stance was like players need to get paid what they should be paid. And
you're talking about Adam Gase, right?
Yeah.
Adam Gase is not a player's coach at all.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, how are you going to expect a guy to come play for you and you just come out and say, like, I mean, I like the guy. I just don't. I think we overpaid for him.
And I know we don't get into a lot of this stuff in general, but there was a lot of Dolphins players that were, you know, kneeling for the national anthem this past year. And whether you support it or not, your players play for you. And he was very adamant about not supporting his players. Yeah. And with the amount of players that on their team that were, you know, actively in support of, you know, this cause, just not a good thing for player morale.
Yeah.
So he's clearly never cared about his players, or, you know, their well-being, you know, how they feel, which is fine. But you're not going to be successful in the NFL if you don't have the locker room. Well, if you're not a player's coach, then you have to win. I mean, I wouldn't say that Bill Belichick's a player's coach, but the dude's got Super Bowls.
But he has respect of his players.
Absolutely.
And that's different.
And Adam Gase is not a Super Bowl winning coach. So there's give and take with that. If you're not a player's coach, you have to have the resume that shows that you're a winning coach.
Yeah.
And guys will respect you based off of your accomplishments.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, right now he just doesn't have respect.
Mm-hmm.
But they go out and get Quentin Williams this past draft, and maybe shore up some of the defensive side of the ball. Hopefully Sam Darnold can come into his own as a starter there. He's got Le'Veon Bell now. We'll see. I mean, I hope for a turnaround.
No excuses.
It just seems like you said, I don't understand why they wait till after the draft.
Bad timing.
We've all seen the Jets be terrible for years, and we know Jets fans are some of the most miserable fans in the league. This was their year to let the New York Giants take that blame, and they were like, "Nope, hold my beer."
Yeah, so I mean, to me, it just seems like they probably didn't have the guy that they wanted going into it, and then after the draft, they're like, you know what, we're just going to start the season fresh, and it's another reason to, look back on the season and be like, well, we didn't have a GM, so we didn't play well.
Yeah,
kind of bullshit.
Yeah, I know. And I sent you guys that meme of Glenn Dorsey prank calling the
that
Cardinals.
was funny.
So another part of that was, I guess, Frank Caliendo, like the comedian, he is good friends with the Cardinals head coach too, and I guess he prank called him. Like, dude, that guy probably just had so many people fucking with him before the draft, and he's like, are we really doing this? Am I really gonna pick Kyler Murray? I guess so.
That's when he called the Colts GM, and he's like, I'm busy, and he hangs up on him. This dude calls me every year.
Yeah, I know if it's during the pick, he's fucking with me.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah, that's football. Nothing else major going on. It's a slow time of the year for football.
Yeah, all the players are reported, so training camp is underway.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'll take the baton next. That's all right.
Okay.
All right. NHL round 3 Eastern Conference Final. The Boston Bruins completed their sweep against the Carolina Hurricanes.
I got a Boston Bruin over here, man.
That's gross.
God.
Totally threw me off.
That's how I met your mother joke.
I think the MVP of this series was their goalie, Tuukka Rask. I mean, he was just lights out this whole series. I definitely didn't see a sweep coming. Carolina was my favorite to win it going forward, so obviously I don't know what the fuck I'm doing picking hockey. I have no idea, but yeah, and then the Western Conference, you had San Jose Sharks versus St. Louis Blues. This is kind of, it's a really good series. I'm surprised that Alex hasn't said anything to us about him being a Sharks fan, even though we all know it's bullshit. And
he's about as much a Sharks fan as me and Ryan are Ducks fans.
Yeah. But San Jose is up 2-1 in that series. Last night, Game 3, kind of a controversial call to win the game. San Jose tied it up late. They pulled the goalie, went into OT. That looked like a hand pass, so it was a pretty clear hand pass, which is basically like the puck's there, the guy hits it, and another player plays it, and it gives your team an advantage, which is illegal, and the whistle should have been blown, but it was missed. That led to Erik Karlsson scoring the game-winning goal. This play kind of is difficult because it's one of those non-reviewable plays, like how there's certain plays in the NFL that it's like, even if you, like that Saints, blatant PI call, it's like you can't review that and you can't overturn that was a penalty. That's kind of how this was. So that's kind of tough. Funny stat of the San Jose Sharks is that they've eliminated 6 referees from the playoffs. So,
how do you eliminate a referee from the playoffs?
Like a blatant call like this, the NHL commission they're just like, listen, you guys aren't allowed to. You guys are done for the series.
We're booting you guys.
Yeah, you guys missed a blatant call, very obvious, that swayed the series in one direction, so you guys are no longer.
6 of them, wow.
Yeah, which is quite a lot.
Yeah.
In this series, though, Logan Couture has been Mr. Reliable. I mean, this guy has 14 goals and 20 points in the playoffs. Just to put that in perspective, he had 70 points with 27 goals in the season. So he has more than half the amount of goals in a short time than he did in 70-something games. I think this series is going to go to 7, which definitely sets up Boston the best for a good Stanley Cup run because they'll be well rested.
Sometimes that plays against you though. You get rested, you kind of cool off a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
it just depends. Are they beat up at all, or?
They are a little bit on defense. Zdeno Chara, which is like their biggest defenseman. He was hampering with a little injury, so he'll get rested for it, and they'll be good to go. But it's a long season, and going another 7-game series that either one of these teams goes through isn't going to be good. Both teams finished with a 7-game series beforehand. And the Sharks played that double OT game to win their series out. So they have a lot of ice time, a lot of hockey, so I'm sure they'd like to sit down. But, yeah, we'll see. It'll be a good Stanley Cup. But that's all I had for hockey. Over to you, B.
Some stuff going down in the NBA. Where do you guys have a preference for? Talking playoffs or
do
talking
playoffs first
the draft?
and then do draft? I want to do.
I forgot about the draft.
Yeah, I want to
I'm
do
excited about this.
I want to do playoffs first because I want to say a lot.
Shorter,
so let's just get it out of the way, and then we can.
Okay, so
we can run with it.
I mean, I don't think the Rockets Warriors series had wrapped up last time we talked.
I don't think
I'm
so.
not mistaken. But man, this is the Rockets. Their window is closing real quick right now.
They closed.
I'm of the belief it closed too.
Yeah,
I thought it closed last year. I was surprised they actually kind of played as well this year.
James Harden is a phenomenal regular season player, but
it doesn't translate.
Well, no, and he's not surrounded with a superstar.
Well, and we've talked about it beforehand. He does well in the regular season because he can get to the foul line. In the postseason, they kind of bite the whistle a little bit, and they don't call those. So,
and Houston's never. I mean, they love Chris Paul. It was probably if you're looking at it, short of winning a championship, it was probably a mistake. I mean, if your goal was to win a championship, probably a mistake. If he was paired with another superstar, James Harden would probably have one, if not 2 championships by now, because of the way he can play. But the thing is, you can't trust him in the playoffs to carry a team.
I think their whole system. I'm not a believer of the whole ISO system. Unless you have just a bunch of, like you said, an off-ball guy who can really just go out there and just make things happen on like a guy, Harden, his usual drive, and he tries to draw the foul, and it's
ISO basketball is a lot easier to defend.
Yes.
So and I totally agree with you. It's a lot easier to defend, and so when you're in the playoffs playing a best-of-7 series against an elite basketball team
like the Golden State Warriors,
yeah, you can't beat them that way, and you have to make adjustments, and they don't, and they lost.
Yeah. So tough for them. They lost in 6, which was a game less than I think most people thought they were going to. I thought everyone thought it was going to go 7. I kind of thought it was going to go 7. It was unfortunate for them, but they're going home early, going fishing, and then the other series, this one was crazy on Sunday.
Called it.
I was going to go Trailblazers Nuggets, but you want to go that one too, or which one are you thinking? The
76ers went home.
Let's do that. Yeah, let's do Sixers versus Raptors. That was
all in. That was all out.
That was
good.
A great series.
You said, and I'm not giving you a hard time because it was that shot that Kawhi made. Lucky, obviously, it was a good shot.
Lucky,
but
it bounced 4 times on the rim.
Yeah. But he has made that exact shot 2 or 3 times this year alone.
Yeah.
In the fadeaway, behind the basket, with a player draped all over him. He's made it for a game-winning shot twice.
It's still a lucky shot.
Oh, for sure, but it's clearly practiced.
Yeah, he's just a great player.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to... when I said he was lucky, I'm not taking any shots at Kawhi because I think he's definitely top.
And it was a lucky bounce for
lucky
sure.
The way it bounced off the front of the rim, backboard, rim.
Yeah,
finally,
but that was literally the shot that he wanted, which was out of all shots to take, this is where you want to go with this. Yeah. But insane.
He redeemed himself too. I was telling Dean because that play set up before, because they almost screwed the pooch on that one to get to go to overtime, where he missed that free throw, and then I can't remember if they hit a 2 or a 3, but they tied it up there, and then Kawhi drives down and that ball hit the front of the rim there, and I seriously thought, I was like, all right, well, we're going to overtime. Perfect,
Yeah.
Bink, 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 boonk. And just Wow, that was an insane shot, and that was like the most emotion and expression I've ever seen on Kawhi's face, to be honest.
Yeah.
And it was like barely any, though. Like, that was the funny part, is he just hit like a massive shot that really was a punch in the gut for the Sixers, because they have two massive players that are going to be free agents, as well as, the Raptors are kind of banking hard on this year too. It was two teams pushed against each other that really this season's they're all in on this season. So great series. That was one, and this was a 2 Game 7s on a Sunday. So the other one was was another good one, but it wasn't quite as good as that Raptors Sixers one. Was the
Nuggets
Trailblazers went 7. In that series, there was a game that went quadruple overtime in this series. And
yeah, dude, that's crazy.
I really thought the Nuggets were going to win this. I am, kudos. I know the Trailblazers lost today. They're down 0-2 in the series, but man, they have earned a lot of respect for battling this hard. They lost their center in the regular season before the end of the season, and now Canner, who's their backup center, is playing with one arm because he got busted up in that last series. So, yeah, the Trailblazers giving it their all. I think they're probably out of juice, though, to be honest. And the Warriors are going to have a pretty smooth sail right now into the West, or the NBA Finals. Sorry.
Yeah.
But let's see. What was there? One more series. I can't think of who it was. Oh, Bucks just massacre on the. I think that had wrapped up actually last week. They destroyed the shit out of the Celtics. But yeah, that's it for the playoffs. So we're in the conference finals right now, and
so we got the Nuggets going up against
Nuggets are done. Yeah,
Trailblazers against the
Warriors,
and then
they're 0-2.
Raptors and the
Bucks. And Bucks are up a game on them, and Bucks. I think the Bucks are taking it.
Yeah,
Bucks have been really good this year, and they might even knock the Warriors off this year. We'll see.
That'd be a good matchup, yeah.
With the Greek Freak, but yeah, there's some big drama shaking up in the NBA. The NBA, for those of you who don't really follow it, they have a lottery system for their draft to kind of prevent tanking, especially since the value of these picks are probably the highest out of any of the sports.
Definitely.
So with that said, they reformed the lottery system. Teams like the Phoenix Suns, who are consistently winning, 15 games every year, and really just defeating competitive balance in the league. This is something I think the league strives for. So what they did now, traditionally, it's the top 3 teams are lottery teams, and I think each of those top 3 teams is a 25% chance of getting, I think, the number 1 overall pick.
Okay.
And it's like a 50 or 60% chance of staying in that top 3, and then the rest is kind of like it just tiers down from there.
But they changed it, right?
They changed it this year, and now it's the 4 are the top 4 picks are lotteried, and the top 3 are like a 14% chance at staying at 1 or going to 1.
Yeah,
and then the 4th one's kind of it's a slightly less. I can't remember what the exact number is, but it's less. But that 4th pick still a lottery pick. So you saw the Lakers. I think they were 10th or 11th pick.
Jumped from 11 to 4.
11 to 4, which is a massive jump. I think it was like 15% chance of happening or something like that. And it happened. Massive move there. But this wasn't the only thing. 3 of the 4 teams that were in the lottery bounced out, and 3 went in. And
this is a huge win for the Pelicans. I know Brandon had talked about them potentially trading Anthony Davis for the number 1 overall pick to acquire Zion Williams.
Yeah, the Knicks were talking about doing that, possibly.
Huge for the Memphis Grizzlies. I feel like with New York, obviously they wanted the number 1 overall pick.
That's tough for them.
But still going to have a good player to select with the number 3 overall pick.
They're getting RJ Barrett.
Yeah.
Unless they try to do some crazy deal to try to.
Yeah.
I don't see that really happening, but I mean,
the thing now though that since this is all played out differently than everybody expected, the 2 teams that I'm looking at here, definitely the Lakers, with what they're going to potentially do with that number 4 overall pick, because it is significantly more valuable now. obviously the top 3 players are pretty much set in stone with who's going where.
It's kind of top 3, and then it kind of drops off.
And then it does drop off. I mean, it's still top heavy. Like I feel like there's about 10 really good players in this draft. And then it's not as deep, where you sometimes see at the end of a first round, like there's
still a lot of players.
Or the beginning of the second round, where there's like some potential first round picks.
Players have upside.
This year, I don't see that as much.
I agree, yeah.
But
Jalen McDaniels, Aztec Pride, he's supposed to be a second round pick this year.
Yeah. But the two things I look at, what the Lakers are going to do with this pick, whether it is, packaging it up to trade, because it's more valuable now.
Yeah.
As opposed to being the number 11 pick, it's a lot more valuable now. Yeah. And then the Pelicans. I feel like there's 2 different ways to play this, and I'm kind of excited about it because I think that if they want to keep Anthony Davis and if they want to sell him, then you cannot pick Zion Williams.
Yeah. Because
we've already seen that team at their best with 2 big front players, and it didn't get them anywhere. Mm-hmm. It was Boogie Cousins and Anthony Davis.
They didn't get to ride out the full year, though. To be fair, the season ended early, but
I feel like if you're gonna pay your respects to Anthony Davis and show him that you want him there long term and you want to put a winning team around him, then you have to pick John Morant.
Yeah, they're taking Zion.
I feel like for sure they're trading then they're trading Anthony Davis before the draft.
You know who's got to be so happy right now is David Griffin, who accepted this job.
Yeah,
and he has inherited 3 number 1 overall picks now with Andrew Wiggins, Kyrie Irving, and now Zion.
No, it's crazy, man.
And he just so happened to just pick the team. Yeah. He's like Nostradamus or something. He just knows what's going to happen.
But there's a potential for the Pelicans to have 2 top 5 picks in this draft now, because I could totally see the Lakers hanging that number 4 pick with, whether it's Lonzo, Brandon Ingram, package.
This was the most disrespectful thing I saw, by the way. I know this is it's still kind of connected, but Rachel Nichols on the selection thing, Kuzma's up there, so they have teams representing their organization. They're going to be the face of the pick or whatever.
Yeah.
And Kuzma's up there. He's the pick, and he actually has a little pin on there. That's like a Game of Thrones pin. It's like the Hand of the King.
Yeah.
And he had that on there, and it was cool. He showed up, and Rachel Nichols has their panel right next to where all these guys are sitting up there.
Yeah.
And she's like, ooh, they're moving up to the 4th pick. Just imagine what they can package up all these picks to go get Anthony Davis. And Kuzma's looking like the...
What are you talking about? You talking about me?
Yeah. Are you saying you're going to trade me?
I'm fucking right here. I represented this team.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
That was... Yeah, I caught that. That was pretty bad.
That's terrible. Yeah.
Pretty bad. But it's insane, man. Biggest losers out of this, Cleveland and the Suns for sure.
Oh, God. The Suns, I think the biggest. Even the Bulls, which the draft was in Chicago, too. Yeah. So, you're damn.
But
it's going to be brutal.
Cleveland deserves this. They absolutely deserve this.
Dude, they've had so much luck.
And they have had so many opportunities. Yeah. It's you got your championship with LeBron. You let him do his thing in Miami for 4 years. You had the ability to bring it up, but you drafted Kyrie Irving, which that didn't sit well with him, with LeBron coming back. Mm-hmm. Then you drafted Anthony Bennett. You drafted Andrew Wiggins and then traded him for Kevin Love. You've screwed this up so many times. You deserve
that Love trade. That worked out for the good.
Well, yeah, and for that one season, but building long term, yeah,
they've jumped up. That even that Kyrie Irving pick was supposed to be the 10th pick. That was a Clipper pick.
Yeah.
And moving up from there is just
so they've never done anything if you look at all their past draft picks, it hasn't amounted to anything because all their players are gone.
Yeah.
So they deserve this.
They got a championship out of it. Yeah. So anytime you get a championship out of something, it's worth it, I feel like.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I feel bad for the Knicks too, because I know that they were
taken, but
I don't know if they were supposed to be the favorite to be number 1, but I know that there was a lot of talk of that.
There was the 3 teams that had
the Suns, the
Knicks, and the Cavaliers.
The Knicks and Cavs, all 3 had the same percentage, but the Knicks had lost the most games.
Yeah.
So
the Knicks are fine though. They have money to spend.
They have money to spend.
So they really
it's just
didn't-
whether or not the teams are buying into what they're cooking.
It's tough because this one was all about Zion Williams, and
That was a huge blow for them.
yeah. So it's like if you weren't going to get the number 1 overall pick, it was a loss anyways. I mean, not because John Morant or RJ Barrett aren't phenomenal players, but because the amount of like tickets you're going to sell just by having Zion on your team.
And not only that, I mean, they have Dennis Smith Jr. I mean, let's say they don't get any free agents, which is not going to happen. They're going to get somebody. You still have a decent team with Dennis Smith Jr. and you'd have Zion there down low, and who knows? You maybe even bring back DeAndre Jordan.
Well, KD is for sure going to the Knicks, so
and KD. I mean, so you'd have those weapons. Yeah. But I'm saying, like, if worst case scenario, you get nobody.
Yeah,
you still have a good team with Zion on it.
Oh yeah, totally. I'm still huge on John Morant, so he's going to look good in the Memphis uniform.
I'm a huge fan, which means that they're going to have to deal Mike Conley, who's been a stud.
Mm-hmm.
So I honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Phoenix Suns make a deal, and then Memphis ends up with like the 2nd and 4th pick or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Conley, he's great but injury prone.
Yeah,
that's his problem.
I just feel bad for New York sports, dude.
Can't win
Yankees, everybody's getting hurt.
Yeah, but Yankees are still winning at least. But the Giants, man, that one's like, if
the
you're
Giants. Who the fuck is that guy?
Because if you're a Giants fan, you're more than likely a Knicks fan, and if you're a Jets fan, you're more than likely a Nets.
It's literally, it's like, hey, hold my beer. Watch how I can fuck this up even worse than you did.
Yeah.
That's how all of them are doing.
It's like the Islanders got booted out early in the playoffs.
Dude,
it's
been bad.
It's tough over there.
Brutal time.
I still think the Giants one is the worst though. Like just looking at all the faces of the fans after they call out this dude's name, and they're like, "What? That's who we ended up with."
That poor guy.
Yeah.
They got the wrong Duke player.
I know, that was so funny. The Duke player they wanted, the Duke player they got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think the draft is in another month or so.
Yeah.
So
it'll be interesting.
That'll probably be the next. I feel like this round's going to be pretty tame for playoffs. So
I think it'd be fun if they did the draft lottery and the draft in the same day.
Nah, you can.
No,
like it'd be so much.
That'd be
to
so
scramble.
hard.
It'd be so hard.
Not
but
only
it'd be
that
like,
too, it'd just be like, oh god, just from like a money perspective, there's no way that would happen.
Yeah.
Just because you can have multiple
viewings and like No, I get that. I'm just saying it would be fun if
it'd be
it was
so
like,
stressful for the
here's
GMs,
your lottery.
like,
now you guys got to go.
Yeah, it's like, all right, this is what, like, these are our top rated players. Like, all right, we're gonna pick in the top 5. Wait, we're picking 10th now? What the fuck?
I laugh. There's like this like Korean guy who brings out like who's the next pick, and he's got a big smile on his face, and it's like the next pick goes to the Los Angeles Lakers, and he's got a big smile on his face, and I'm like, you got a big ass smile on your face, but you're fucking over some people.
So many people are so mad at you.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well,
all right, B. You got our stat of the day. Let's give it to us.
Stat of the day, dabba-dooba-doo, stat of the day, dat of the day. Here comes that what? Stat of the day. Bop.
I mean, I had mentioned before that this was a stat that was a really good stat for a team that none of us like here, and we actually can't stand them, but we gotta pay respect to
Dodgers.
one of the greats.
Yeah, it sounds
Clayton
like it.
Kershaw. I saw this stat is insane. So Clayton Kershaw's record when the Dodgers offense scores 4+ runs is 103-0.
Wow.
Talk about giving the dude some freaking like run support.
Yeah, give him some support, and that guy will close the door for you.
Well, even then, 103 wins is still a pretty sizable amount of wins.
That's such a good statistic, though, because if you think about a good ERA as a pitcher, it's 3. That's a good ERA.
Yeah,
not great, not the best, but that's what you want from a pitcher is an earned run average of about 3.
Yeah.
So the fact that if you score runs, this dude's going to win the game for you, like there's nothing better than that.
Yeah. That's lights out, literally.
Kershaw's a stud, man. No doubt about it. And
no doubt.
Obviously, you got to tip the cap when you got a great talent.
Pay respects where respects due.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. That's so many wins.
And we've had to face him twice this year. We've only played the Dodgers, 5 times?
Yeah.
Just shitty luck and rotation.
Dang it.
Right?
We need someone else. Well, all right, everybody. We are the Three Amigos in a Podcast. If you recommend somebody to us, you can find us under 3A anywhere you listen to podcasts. We'll give some more details every time in our podcast of where we're going to have our 1 year, but it's looking like the Ballast Point. So come out, support us, and we'll give you some kind of merch or beer or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We got stickers.
Come on down.
All right, everybody.
We
have
want
a good
you guys
week.
there.
Yes, we do.
See ya.
Later.